Good morning. Welcome to Arthur Brown Photography. Today we're talking wheelchairs. There comes a time in life when, as a photographer, one gets old and the moving about that photography requires becomes more difficult, particularly if you're into landscape and travel photography, as I am. My mobility has been on a decline for quite a while, so I decided that I wanted to get an electric wheelchair, but one that was suitable for perhaps rougher terrain than many. So I've ended up with this nice bright blue-green Robooter E60 Pro, which I chose after quite a few months of deliberation, looking at the stuff on the internet and going to various wheelchair suppliers to try out their products. And it was, again, there's a lot of compromise involved. There's a lot of nice, lightweight carbon fibre wheelchairs out there, but they have a disadvantage that they don't have a great weight carrying capacity. And also they're not that good once you get onto rough ground. One of the problems I was finding is that the wheelchairs with the normal little caster wheels at the front were very difficult on off-road, and also, I live in the Peak District. The villages here have a lot of cobbles and Victorian flagstones on the ground. Wheels were getting stuck when I tried any of these things out. They couldn't manage curbs at all. And I say, I really struggled to find any that would take my weight, which is about 120 kilos. So after a while, much research on the internet, I came across this Robooter. I think they're fairly new to the wheelchair market. They've got a range of wheelchairs. Perhaps one's more suitable for indoors and shopping malls, and then they've got these outdoor ones as well. And this one model, which is particularly aimed at off-road. So I went and tried one of these out, and I was very pleased. So we put one on order. I've had it for a few months now. I'm very pleased with it. Obviously, one issue I had straight away when I bought it was that it was difficult to get it in and out of the car. It does fold up quite small, but it's not very heavy, 37 kilos with a battery in it. So it's not hugely heavy, but difficult for a person like myself to lift into over the lip into a boot. In addition to that, also at the time I had a boy racer hot hatch, let's put it that way, which had lowered suspension and all stuff on it. And I was finding I wasn't driving it because it was so low I couldn't get in and out of it properly. So in the end, I had to change the car as well. But what I've got now is a hoist for lifting the wheelchair in and out of the car. I ended up with this Transit. It's a Transit Connect with seats in it, little minibus thing, 7-seater. Really, I did look at a few things. I quite fancied the Transporter, Volkswagen Transporter, but my daughter's got one, and I do find this the opposite of my hot hatch. It's a bit too high to get in and out of. I looked at a number of caddies, but I couldn't find one that was suitable. And then someone pointed out to me that, in fact, this Transit is actually a caddy with a Ford badge on it. And when you look at the inside, all the things like all the controls and the gear change and everything are all identical to the Volkswagen. I think it's got a Ford engine in it. And then the next stumbling block was finding a Transit that didn't have a wet belt engine in it, but this hasn't. This has got a timing chain, traditional one. I found it quite difficult to source one. When I was looking, there was about 4 for sale in the UK, but 2 of them were in the north of Scotland. One was over in Aberystwyth, and the bloke wouldn't deliver it. And I managed to find this one in Northamptonshire. It's possibly more money than I was going to pay, but it's only had 7,000 miles on it, and the guy delivered it for 120 quid, which is probably less than the train fare would be if 2 of us had gone down there to fetch it. Very pleased. This is an ex-Motability car, but it's had no modifications to it. but since I've had a hoist put in, which I'll demonstrate in a few minutes. But I have actually made comments on a few other people's videos about the Robooter, and one of the questions I've had back from a few people is how do I lift it in and out, because while the design of this is very great and nice and modern looking, it's not obvious where you can attach any hoist to it to actually lift it in and out of a vehicle. On the Robooter website, there's a number of films of people folding it up, and I'm just using the handle there on the foot plate to lift it in. That's fine, and it stands on its little wheels at the back like a suitcase. But once the car starts to move, it's not very stable. So I did try hoisting it like that for a start, but then I found it quite difficult to get it to lie down on all four wheels. So it didn't move about in the car. So in the end I came up with a couple of alternatives, which I'll demonstrate to you in a few minutes. In terms of wheelchair control, it's joystick control of 5 different speeds. Although I haven't got above 3 yet, because it's quite fast actually. And it's obviously got brakes on some things. This side, when I bought it, I had a cup holder, but I had a bit of an argument with a stone gateway when we went to a wedding a few weeks ago, and broke the cup holder. But now it's given me the opportunity to excuse my dog for barking. To modify this slightly, and I've actually put a holder on here for a DJI Osmo 3 pocket camera, which sits on this little base. It gives me a kind of a dash cam. But actually it provides quite a nice steady platform for filming. I've been quite pleased. Okay, from a really rough terrain, the gimbal gets a bit wobbly sometimes, but on ordinary pavements and then around shopping centres and things, you get a really good picture. Anyway, I'm just going to just concentrate on a few of the details of this wheelchair before we load it into the car. Probably one of the most unusual things about this chair are the wheels. It's got 12-inch wheels on the back, doubly tyres, but on the front it's got these roller wheels. So they actually rotate in 2 directions. They're fixed, they don't steer, or don't steer traditionally. But that way, the rollers, if I just demonstrate, here are they. I'll just knock the brakes off a second. They roll that way like that. But they also roll that way like that. The result being is that the wheelchair can actually turn in its own length, which is quite good, particularly if we're in shops and things, for manoeuvrability. So that's probably one. You can also see as well that it's got adjustable suspension on the front as well. You can see the larger 12-inch wheels on the rear. The front roll wheels are 10-inch. These larger wheels on the back. Pneumatic tyres, although I do have anti-puncture treatment inside them. But yeah, I think these are quite knobbly, quite good grip. In most conditions, I say the only time you actually get stuck with this is on very soft sand or very soft gravel. But otherwise, I've had no problems with it off-road at all yet. So it's got the traditional type of wheelchair controls, the joystick, and then there's a number of buttons which have various functions. There's a SOS button, horn, and then there's the up and down. There's the 5 different gear ratios or speeds. I suspect it's all electronic. I find the joystick control very good actually. It's very sensitive, and you can actually manoeuvre very well at very low speeds, which is quite good. On the other armrest, I've installed this holder for the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 camera, which just sits under here. There's also a USB charge point, both traditional USB and the new USB-C. And there's sort of a light as well in there somewhere. Actually, it's not switched on, so it probably won't come on. Both of the armrests go up and down as well, which is great if you're in a restaurant. You can get right up to the table. So there's a kind of a fixed luggage compartment here, which I've got a little tripod in, or monopod. I've got security cables in case I need to leave it tied up anywhere. And I've got a few slings and things for bags. Just go down a bit to see the battery there. It's that thing with the white stripe on it that actually lights up, so it shows a red light at the rear if you're on the road. The red handles are the brakes and to disconnect the motors, so it's actually quite light to push once you've disconnected the motors. And if there's some safety wheels at the back of it to stop it tipping over if you get onto a slope. I've actually got a little bracket there to put my walking stick in as well if I need it. So, and then underneath the seat, which you can't really see that well from here, is a soft luggage basket. I've just got my waterproof coat in there at the moment. So. The wheelchair just folds flat like that. Methods of hoisting. You can, if you want. I'm not going to try because it's quite heavy, but pick it up and stand it on its end, and it should stand on the roller wheels at the back. The adverts for Robooter on their website, they show people picking it up with this handle here and just lifting it in. Well, it's not that easy. It's 37 kilos. I suppose I could take the battery out, but that does it's a bit more trouble then, isn't it? So you could, if you wanted, hoist it from there, but then again it's on its end, and when it goes into the car and it's never quite as stable. The other alternative, which I have done, I don't know if you can see these now, is to fit some hoisting straps. Now you can't actually see them. They're down beside the seat and they're fixed to the frame. And what they are is actually these pair of these motorcycle straps. And these are designed these are designed to secure motorbikes in a trailer or a car ferry, that type of thing. So they have quite a high braking strength, well suitable for lifting these. And whilst I've just used these ones for bags and things, I've got some that are attached to the frame underneath the seat there. But you can only use them when the wheelchair is upright. I can actually get this into the van without collapsing it down, but it does tend to obscure the view out the rear view mirror somewhat. So I prefer to have it folded up. So the optimum way that I've found is to run a strap from the handle on the foot plate, as we had looked at a minute ago. Right. So run that through there. Across the back of the chair, like this. Now these straps here that I showed you and this sling I got from Amazon, and I'll put links to it in the description. Now when the wheelchair's folded up, there's a bar at the back here. Now what I've done is put a bit of pipe insulation and some duct tape on that, to protect it from getting scratched, but also it stops the strap from sliding about, because the knack to lifting it into the car is to get the centre of gravity in the right place. So what I don't want is the strap sliding from side to side. Right, I had this this hoist fitted from our local company, mobility company. It's rated at about 80 kilos, so that with the wheelchair only weighing 37 kilos, we've got plenty of spare capacity. So if I bring that out there like that, bring this down a bit. Now lifting it in here is always a little bit more difficult because my drive's on a slope, so that the wheelchair is always a bit lower than if you were on a level surface. Right, so now you'll see that because I've got the centre of gravity more or less in the right place, the wheelchair is actually lifting fairly level. So I just need to lift it up above the level of the floor of the car at the back. Let it roll in like that. Right, take the tension off the crane. And get all four wheels on the ground. The other important thing to do is to lock the wheels so that it can't roll about in the car. And then there's also an additional safety strap, which is on an inertia reel in a similar way to a car seat belt. Which you need to pull all the way out before you start. Like that. Push it through there like that. Let that tighten up. Right, that's how we get into the car. I've got this skirt here just to protect the bumper. I did put a bit of rubber on there as well, just to help. So there we are then. Welcome to the East Midlands designer outlet centre. So we're now out in the wild in the wheelchair, so let's have a look round.